let me hit my little button. So let me make sure. Yep, we're recording. Okay, so what I thought I'd do, I've written down a few notes this afternoon that I thought I'd just go through on how I've gotten to where I am today. Talk to you about my journey and what I've done. And Megan, you were asking me, about how have I gotten enrollments and that sort of thing. So I've written down a whole heap of things for us to talk about. And then if you've got any questions at all, stop me in the middle of them and, just fire them away.
Yep.
We've lost Kelly again, but she'll come back on. So I guess the first thing that you have to ask yourself when you're going into the business side of things is, why are you doing it? And the biggest thing that doTERRA are always on about, and the thing that you always hear from, like the upline leaders, your diamonds and your blue diamonds, is what's your why? Why are you doing it? Why are you on this journey? Why do you want to do it? So for me, in the very beginning, I wanted to do it for my family. I wanted to, remove all the chemicals from our life and things like that. But then my solid why is that I want to create a bit of financial freedom. Kel's just commented, hang on a second, what's happened? Okay, she said, no, it's not working properly, don't wait for me. Creating that why, I want to create a bit of financial freedom for my husband and myself. He's the breadwinner in the family. He, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to be off work for as long as I have been. So yep. I want to, work really hard while I can, because I've had the kids 5.5 and 3.5, and I'm a teacher as well. So I only work 1 day a week, and I've been on long service leave to do doTERRA for the last 2 terms. And I really don't want to go back to that. I enjoy being around the kids and working from home. So that's my why, and that's what's driving me. And having that time off work where I've been able to focus solely on doTERRA has allowed me to really knuckle down. But in saying that, it's been 2.5 years that I've been doing doTERRA, but the first year I did nothing. My first year was solely using the oils, using all the products, getting to know them, and then I jumped into the business side of things. So take down that year, it's left me 1.5 years, and I had 6 months off at the end of last year where I did nothing. Like from July to December last year, I did absolutely nothing, and it just kind of sat there, and it was a busy time for me. Sorry, Megan?
You're still ordering that time? Like, do you get LRP on that?
Yep, I was still on LRP. I've been on LRP since the day I joined. So I was still ordering in every month, and I was still doing all of that. But I didn't do any part of the business, and that was purely because I'm also the other part of my business is I'm a doula and a hypnobirth practitioner. So I was flat out with clients, and that's what really took my time up. Then at the end of the year, I made a decision that I don't want to go back to teaching. I enjoy what I'm doing. So with the business side of things, I can't focus on my doula and my hypnobirthing and all of my birthing clients as well as doTERRA. I can't do it all well. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to put the birthing aside, and it's doTERRA all this year. And so from January, I went hell for leather, and I've achieved silver. So my why is what keeps driving me. Yay! Yes, it was very exciting. It was a big jump. It is a big jump from Premier to Silver. It's I really had to work hard at it, but it's paid off in the end. So your why is what drives you in the business. Now, there are a lot of blocks that come up for people, that I hear it all the time. I've written a few down, and the biggest one that comes up is, I'm not into pyramid schemes, or, anything to do with pyramid building. Pyramid schemes were outlawed years and years and years ago, back in the 1960s, I think it was. And I don't know if you know about pyramid schemes, but they would enroll people and get all these people on board, promising them payment and products, but there wasn't a product that was driving it. That was the afterthought. That's why they never worked. Multi-level marketing is completely different. There are products that are out there, and they're just trying to get people to get access to them wholesale. So it's no different to my husband being at work, and he's say what is he? I don't even know what his title is. He's in marketing. But, you know, there's people underneath him. Then there's him. Then he's got his boss, who's got another couple of people. And then they've got the general manager, who's got other managers underneath them. And it keeps going up until you get to the CEO at the top that's on the big bucks and got the company car and got the phone and got everything. And it's exactly the same structure. The only difference is with a multi-level marketing company is that the person above you, so your managers, and then when you get up to your CEOs, you're not making them get, a higher income. You're working for you. And so for for all of our upline, okay, so Megan and Kelly, I'm your upline, and Megan, you're Kelly's upline. It's we're not making each other get rich. It doesn't work like that. For example, I could jump over our uplines way up if I work really hard and I progress faster. I could be a higher rank than them. So I'm not necessarily making them get more money because their other teams also have to be doing the work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So.
Yep. A great way to also think of it is think of your big brands like Coke and Cadbury and things like that. How much money do they put into advertising? They put in so much. They pay millions and millions every year to do all of their advertising. DoTERRA pay nothing. They don't have to advertise. And why don't they have to advertise? Because we're all doing it for them. They're paying us to market it.
Right.
Okay? It's all word of mouth. So they don't have to spend a cent except they put money into our pockets.
Yep.
We either get that via income or we can put that into products, and buy all of our oils and shampoos and conditioners and, all of that sort of stuff. So it is a really smart business model, and they're a very, very generous company. The other thing I hear is I'm not good at selling. I'm not a salesperson either. doTERRA is not about sales, okay? I never go into a class and say to them, I'm here to sell you a bottle of oil. Yes, I do have stock available that I sell retail. I've got, a database of people that come to me and say, oh, do you have Easy Air or do you have lavender or can I buy some On Guard? Yeah, I've always got a stockpile. John Overbeek has never sold, he's our Blue Diamond upline, he's never sold a bottle of retail in his life. It's all been wholesale enrollments, and he refuses to sell retail. Because I didn't start off the business side of things, straight away, I always offered my clients, retail prices. So that's kind of just gone on. But what I tend to do is if they buy retail, I always give them the option of the wholesale. And you'll find that 9 times out of 10, they'll actually take you up on that offer because they want that extra money to buy coffee. Right. Or, put towards some clothes, or, they're saving 25%. So it's not about selling. I don't go in and say, I'm going to sell you a product. What I do is I go in there and I educate people, and it's just all about sharing. People come over and they go, oh, your house smells really nice. And I said, oh, yeah, I've just got some patchouli, lang lang and wild orange in the diffuser. Oh, what's that for? And then it kind of gets, people talking. So just share it. And once you start sharing it and people start using it, you don't have to sell it. They choose whether they would like to try that product or not. It's up to them. You are giving them all the information and all of the facts for them to make an informed decision for themselves on what they want to do and what path they want to take. So try and get out of your mind that it's about selling, because it's not. I'm too busy or I don't have time is another one. And yes, like any business, you do need a little bit of time to set aside to it, but you can work at your own pace. So to say that there's not enough time in your day to, spend an hour on it or do something like this for an hour once a week, you know, to try and get out there and get people on board. It's not an excuse. There's always a small amount of time that you can dedicate, and you don't have to grow big. You know, as I said, it's been 2.5 years and I've just reached silver. I've now ramped up my business side of things to try and, you know, I'm trying to get there a lot quicker now, but that's because I do have the time. My kids are out of that toddler phase and it's allowing me to do that. So, yeah, just set aside a small amount of time, whether it's even half an hour to sit down and go, okay, what's my goal this week? Set yourself some goals. What am I going to achieve this week? Am I going to do a newsletter? Am I going to do an online class? Am I going to go and meet with, you know, these 3 people down at the, you know, a physio, a chiro and the doctor's surgery? You know, just have a small plan of attack and start small, and then you can grow big. Yep.
Can I just ask, when I signed up, I didn't know about any of this. I'd been looking for 2 years between this and the other company. And then we just knew that Shane did it. So we're like, oh, yeah, we'll join. And then even at the stage when Debbie jumped on board and said, oh, I've signed up, and we did all that.
Yep.
And even Kel, I still am only just realising that it's a business thing. I didn't realise that when people sign up under you, that's how it all works. And then you go on and it becomes a business. So that's where I'm struggling, because I sort of wasn't in that mindset that I would do it as a business.
Yeah, and I was the same.
Learn more. I can't help people more, so I feel like I need to keep learning to help. The girls. But
definitely. And you'll be surprised, you know, I do get a lot of people that say to me, I'm not interested in it as a business, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to know about the business side. And then once they start using them and they get on the loyalty and they realise how good they are and that they do work and they believe in the product, they can't help but share it. And then before you know it, you know, like I've got friends who are the same, yet they've now got people under them because they've shared it. So it's...
Yeah, I feel a bit bad because I didn't know that to tell people, if you sign up under me, I will end up getting this, this and this, like, because I didn't realise that that's how it happened.
Oh, with your commission?
Yeah, but whereas Kelly and Debbie, they just decided to sign up, probably just like Julie and I did. We're just like, oh, yeah, we love it, we're going to do it. But I didn't realise the whole connections and how it all worked.
Yeah, so when you know, people enroll with me, I don't actually tell them that I'm making this amount of money out of them, because to me, it's not, you know, I said my why is to get like a financial outcome out of it. But when I'm talking to people, I'm not thinking cha-ching, you know, that's not going through my mind at all. My initial thing is I'm helping somebody out. I'm helping somebody out because they tend to come with me with problems or issues. And, you know, a lot of my database is mums with kids, because I'm a birth worker. So I get so many questions like, can you help my child sleep, or, you know, they've got asthma and all these things. I don't say to them, I'm going to make this amount of money by you enrolling, because that comes later for them when they realise that they can do it. So it's not when somebody enrolls, I definitely say to them that, you know, this is the wholesale account, and I give them, you know, you can do $35, or you can purchase a kit, or, you know, all of the options. And if you want to know how you can substitute your income, or, you know, earn a bit of extra cash or get your oils for free, then let me know. And that will then spark a discussion about the business side and the commissions and things like that. There is a lot of blocks for people because you feel like, and I was the same, like in the beginning, where I felt bad for receiving money. But if you have the mindset, you know, if you decide to take on the business side and you put on that business hat and you step into that business role right from that moment that you've made that decision, you've got a business hat on, and that's what you've got to separate personal and business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what you're in it for, is you've got the business hat on. So in the business, you want to make money. So
yeah, that's right. And that's, sorry.
As you know, Nicole, like, I didn't make money off the girls because I didn't realise how to make money.
Yeah, we had a bit of a,
I don't want that to happen to like Kelly or Debbie or Juliet
Yep.
if they sign people up. I want them to know exactly from the start how they can make something, because I didn't know that. So that's a good thing if they're in and realizing you've got to do this if you sign someone up. Like,
You know that I spent and you got nothing. I'm disappointed for you.
Oh, it's all right. So I got a couple of points, like a few of the points up, but I know now, so it's fine.
Yeah, and I was the same. Look, I missed out with that whole 100-point thing. I had no idea for a long time. Like I had lost out on.
Do 100 PV order.
Pardon?
Like it says you have to do a 100 PV order, but it doesn't actually say you have to have an order sitting in your cart for the whole.
No,
month.
it doesn't, and that's another thing. And I think when a manual comes out, because John is actually writing a manual so that we can all have a copy of that. It's like a training manual. And all of that is in there because it wasn't written anywhere and no one knew about it. And that's like I didn't know about it either. So, it's one of those things that sort of had come from higher up and everyone high up knew, but we had no idea. So
how long has DoTerra been in Australia for?
How long have DoTerra been in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think this is their 5th year in Australia for like having an Australian warehouse. The company's 8 years old, or maybe this is their 9th year. I think it's their 8th year. 8th or 9th, 8.5. So it's still a very young company, but in that time, short 8 years, that they are the largest essential oil company in the world. They're approaching 4 million wellness advocates. So it's pretty phenomenal in a short amount of time what they've achieved. The warehouse in Australia has been here for about 5 years, and there's new countries opening up all the time. So I think Malaysia's still not open. They're still looking for founders. New Zealand is still looking for founders. So it will be, it won't be long before they have an office as well.
Okay.
So, it's growing very, very quickly.
So that's why we can have people from all over the world under us if they wish to join. Yeah,
that's right. So I had, there was one of my team, she had a contact with Vietnam. I think it was Vietnam. And we were trying to work, no, not Vietnam. I've forgotten. It was somewhere over there. And she was looking at getting her on board. Now, because there's no warehouse there, you have to go through global access. So that means that it has to be done all through America. It gets shipped from the American warehouse, and then it will get shipped to either Australia and then to her because they can't ship direct. So it would be like a double postage. So there's things like that when you're looking at third world countries like that. There are ways that you have to, particular avenues that you have to go through to try and get it in there, but you can get it in there. It's just a bit of a roundabout way and a bit more messy. But as far as things like, anywhere else, all of your Europe and Canada and America and New Zealand and, all of those places, it's easy. So, you can have it for anyone from anywhere all over the world.
Cool.
The other block that I get is that I have young children, or, it'll take too long to get any benefit, to get any financial benefit. And, a lot of people do give up really easily. I guess what you have to realise is that if you were to set up a business, or if you were to buy into a franchise, or, buy an already set up business, you're looking at the first 5 years where you run a loss. And you've got to work bloody hard at it, to keep that business afloat. So with DoTerra, I guess we're really lucky because you can start earning money from, well, Megan, but from the day that you enroll. Technically, you can.
Okay, Kelly and Debbie.
So, we're really lucky. Now, yes, like being silver, I think this month, whatever, it's been about $1,500 that I've received this month, and this month has been a really slow month for me. It's been one of my down months. I've been away, and it's just been, I haven't worked as hard this month. But you get that. And, you know, I had a nice time away and I've just come back and I've gone, right, it's okay. October's coming up. So I have to, you know, get my A into G for next month. But, you know, you can earn, being a silver, I can earn anywhere, you know, up to $2,500 for the month, depending on enrollments and, you know, all of that sort of thing, which we'll get into. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so take it, you know, it does take time. Don't give up though, because in this business you can achieve so much in such a short amount of time if you wanted to. And if you think about the normal business structure, if you were to buy something else or get into something else, that, you know, you're looking at that first 5 years, you can be making, you know, a 6-figure income if you want within 6 to 12 months if you worked really hard at it. And as I said, it's up to you how much time and effort you want to put in, but the opportunity's there. What's your why and what's driving you and how fast do you want to get there? So, you know, we're lucky we can start earning straight away. Yes, it might only be $50 here and there, or, you know, $200 a month or something, but hey, that's your product paid for. You don't have to pay anything for that month. So you're getting free product anyway. So how good's that? So don't, you know, you do get down moments. You've just got to think about all the positives and keep pushing along, keep pushing through.
Do you need a, obviously once you get into building it more and stuff, ABN and stuff, or should we have
that was the next thing I was going to talk about. When you decide on doing the business side, I recommend that you go straight into it and you know, put your business hat on and treat it like a business. Things like choosing a business name, registering it with ASIC, setting up a Facebook page and all of your social media, and you know, get a logo and things like that going. Get some business cards made up. Some little brochures. I'm just getting some printed this week, you know, $170 I think for 500. So, you know, it's quite cheap, and that's not going through someone like Vistaprint, because I refuse to go through that, and I've got a husband that's a graphic designer who won't let me. But, you know, you want to, talking about that, you want to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
You don't want to be run-of-the-mill. Everyone goes to Vistaprint because they're cheap, but guess what? All of their business cards look identical. So do something a little bit different. You know, it doesn't cost much. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive than Vista, but I'm all about quality, you know, and standing out from the crowd. So get a, if you don't want to build a website, you don't have to, but in this day and age, eventually every business should have a website anyway, even if it's really basic. And don't look at mine yet, because I'm still waiting for my husband to build it. He can hopefully hear me. It's been 2.5 years. So hopefully launching very soon. But things like, even if you're not going to build a website now, securing the domain name for it, because you always want to make sure that your domain name is available with the business name that you choose.
Yep.
What else have I got down there? Bookkeeping. You don't have to pay for, I run on MyOb and there's Xero and there's a whole lot of other things. You don't have to go to that expense now. Just jot it down, you know, set up a spreadsheet, but start keeping track, and so that you know what your profit and what your loss is. What are your outgoings? What are you spending money on? So you can start working out, you know, how much you're earning. Keep track of your commissions, how much you're getting from doTERRA, and start treating it like a business. Mine's set up as a sole trader. I'm just Nicole Brown, trading as Love Nest Nurture. Eventually it will be set up, because we've had a previous business, it'll be set up as a trust with a proprietary limited, just to separate it all. And but you don't have to go to that expense now. And I'm certainly not thinking about that now. That's way down the track. But just, you know, if you start right from the get-go, you'll step into it and treat it as a business. If you're going to treat it as a hobby, then you're not going to grow as quickly as you want to. So if you want to do it as a business, just step into it and go for it. And time management. Before I start my day, I've got notes everywhere, but I've always got a bit of a plan on what I'm going to focus on. Am I going to write emails or letters or, get on the phone to, local businesses, arrange some meetings? Am I going to do social media? I need to contact people whose orders haven't gone through yet, and I'll get to that in a minute. But, I've always got a bit of an idea on what I'm going to focus on for that day. So don't sort of – sorry?
No, I got a child entering the room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's very easy to procrastinate, and I'm the world's biggest procrastinator, don't worry. I'll sit down and I get caught up on Facebook. I spend hours on Facebook. If you've ever got a question, you'll send me a message and there'll always be a reply very quickly, most times. So, yeah, I am the world's biggest procrastinator, but set yourself a bit of a plan and run with it. Even if it's, 5 minutes on this and 10 minutes on that, half an hour soon goes, and you've just got to use your time productively. And I'm still not good at that.
So you've got to pay tax. I know that sounds a silly question, but tax is payable because you has a business.
Yeah, so no questions ever silly. Yes and no. You can get away with, I think it maybe, don't quote me on it, up to 18,000 or 20,000 is classified as a hobby. So you don't have to pay tax on that amount, but just double check that out with your accountant or bookkeeper or, who you use. And then after you earn, more than that, then yes, you have to declare it because it does become a business and it becomes an additional income. Yeah. Yeah, I've had this whole tax conversation with John Overbeek because it confuses the hell out of me. And because I've just done our tax returns last week or the week before, and basically my bookwork's not up to date. I've got to do a couple of months of bookwork, and I'm procrastinating about that because I hate doing it. But he wants to know what my profit and loss is, because that determines if it's a profit. That has to go onto my personal tax return because the business I'm under a sole trader under my name. Does that make sense? So I have to declare that. And because the business earned, well over 20,000, then I have to, it all gets counted. So, but yeah, under the whatever the 18 or 20,000 for a hobby, you're fine.
Okay.
So claim everything back that you purchased?
I do. Yep. So everything. If I have to go to a meeting and I shout somebody coffee, I claim it. I claim all my parking. I claim the cars. So I'll be claiming 5,000 kilometres on each car. I claim, absolutely everything. All my DoTERRA orders, because that's coming in. The business is paying for that. It's product. I need that product to be able to do classes. It's all claimable. Absolutely everything. When I go away, all my airfares, accommodation, so if you guys are going to come up to convention, it's all tax deductible.
Okay.
Yeah. I make sure I keep the receipts, and that goes all on my bookwork as a business expense.
Okay.
If I eat out for lunch because I've been in meetings, I use the business card for that because I'm in between running around. I don't use our personal account. So, I claim everything. I claim part of our home internet, electricity, all of that. So you just need to find yourself a good accountant that, you work well with, and that they're going to claim as much as they can in the right way.
Yeah. Not a dodgy one.
No, not a dodgy one. What else do I do? Megan, you asked me today about enrollments. How have I gotten enrollments? When I first started, so going back to January last year, Lorraine did Diamond Club. Now, Diamond Club is available for anyone, or you're eligible to do Diamond Club if you are Premier or above. So to be Premier, you need two legs that are spending 2,000 points each, but with an overall volume, your overall volume has to be 5,000 points. So she was doing Diamond Club, and that's a doTERRA competition where you travel around to all your teams, hold classes, people enroll, and you get points along the way, and you can win money and prizes and things like that. So what they do it for is pretty much to fast track your doTERRA business, because it pretty much doubles or triples your team volume, within a 3-month period. But it's full on. So she was doing that last year, and she came up to me every month from January till May and ran classes, and I'd have 1 or 2 classes a month. And that kind of kick-started me. Then once I got, a few enrollments from all of those classes, then I started doing classes for those people, because I felt confident, seeing a class done. So then I would contact those people who had enrolled and said, hey, do you want to learn more about how to use the oils? Because using the oils on a daily basis, you're getting the most effectiveness out of them. And, the more you hear, the more you're going to learn, and the quicker you're going to learn. And so they would say, yes, I would like a class on this date. I would go into their house and do the class, and then they'd get more enrollments, and then you would look at contacting those people because they want a class, and it kind of snowballs from there. So once you get a few people under your belt, it's called tap routing. You start tapping down into those organisations and finding other people that want to have classes, because they've got a whole new group of friends that you didn't know about when you did the class for this other friend. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we're in a fairly small area, really, isn't it, Megan? Like, it's not like we're not a small Hicks town, but where we are is fairly, we're an hour from the closest, like we're an hour from Newcastle, sort of the closest big major thing and stuff. And that's I guess my main concern is trying to find people locally to be able to do classes, start off like that, and whatever went.
Yeah, so once I started doing that, I kind of thought, well, if I'm going out and doing all of this, is this is this the best value of my time? Like, am I using my time the best by doing this? So I started online. Now, online is huge. There's so much to be done online, and it really is untapped. There are people in doTERRA that have purely built their business online, and they've never left the house to do a class. So if you can start doing things online, then you're going to do well. I've done webinars, I've done online events, so I've run it as an event. You've probably seen some of the events I've run. If you haven't, you can go to my Love Nest Nurture page and click on events, and it should come up with past events. If not, I'll see if I can tag you in it. So I've tried a couple of different ways. What you've got to do is do a lot of advertising. So I advertise on Facebook, and I get people to jump on from that. Then I've got my 2 Facebook pages. I've got my birthing Facebook page, and I've got my oils Facebook page. Now, I've only got 1,000 followers on one, and I think 980 on the other. So it's not huge. And I've been slack with social media. You should be posting at least a couple of times a day. I haven't been. It's been that's the area that I need to focus on now. So I do Facebook advertising, and then I get people via that join in. I get people on my pages that are following that want to join in. And then because they've clicked that they're interested in my event, or they're going to join my webinar or whatever event I'm doing, their whole friends list sees that they're interested or they're going to that event. So then they'll click on it and go, oh, what's she going to? I'm going to check this out. And then I also put on there, please share with all your friends and family. So they share it. More people see it. You get more people on board. And I've had a lot of enrollments from that. I have found that doing online events where I'm not talking has been a lot more successful than webinars, but I am going to give webinars another crack. My voice sounds terrible, so maybe it's boring. I don't know.
No, not at all.
People can go back and watch online rather than sit live on a webinar.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, people are time poor. They don't have time to sit down for an hour and go, I'm just going to sit here and listen. it's not interacting. Whereas the online events, because they're silent, all I'm doing is posting slides with a little status update for each thing. But they're all jumping on, and then they answer questions. They'll go and check the kids out because they're fighting or not going to sleep. They'll come back on, catch up, ask questions, and then they can refer back to it later. It's still there. It never gets deleted.
Yep.
So I think it's a better, a better way to go. Or I found it a lot more successful at the moment than webinars. But don't be afraid to start anything online. It's very powerful. You've just got to use it. And you've just
Megan's good at that. She started her little page thing already, and you have the Thermomix one as well. So
yeah, and that's another thing. Sorry, Megan.
Sorry. Both of those I started because I didn't want to drive my friends crazy on my personal page, so I set up a separate page so I could just put it across, and then I'm like, well, if anyone wants to join it, but if you're not interested, just leave the page.
Well, your Thermostruck, how many's that got?
Both of those.
That's got a fair decent.
It's got like 17,000 people or something. I don't even do anything on it.
Yeah,
and then you look at these other companies like the Sisters and that, and they're just getting people join left, right, and centre.
Whoops, you there?
You know what I mean? I know that in the long run it's helping her as well. Not that
No,
she's not.
Page.
But you know what I know. But you know how you get that feeling, and I know in the long run it's helping her, and that's not why we joined up. We joined up personally, for ourselves. But I get that.
Yeah.
I'm a guilt-ridden person. It's terrible. It doesn't help me with a lot of things.
Cut out, so I missed that part of the conversation.
I just said, saying, you've got your big pages like Sister Mixon and Layla Rose and that are just getting so many people joining now that they're talking about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I sort of, Thermostruck's a bit of a different page. I'm not as interactive on that.
Yeah.
But then she's now saying she feels like she's stepping on my toes if she opened up a page, which I don't mind at all. Like Kelly works at the other Good Start Centre, so we've got similar friends, but we wouldn't be treading on each other's toes because it's just whoever you connect with.
No, and the thing is because you're under one another, it's all helping anyway. You put friends under friends, and you keep friendships and that sort of thing together because it's like me. I've got heaps of my good friends actually under me. I've just been to do a class for one of them today. Another one's building. They're all under my mum. It doesn't matter where they are in my organisation, but it's all volume. It's all helping me in some way or another. So it doesn't matter if they get one of our other good friends and I don't enroll them.
Yeah, because we just have a lot of the same friends because we're both grown up here.
Yeah.
So, even though we're a bit different age, but
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't matter. So you won't be treading on Megan's toes at all, Kelly.
No.
In that. Oh, sorry.
I wondered who Kelly was. I thought it must have been somebody else who joined.
No. I was looking at Facebook before, and I was looking at
Kelly's too quiet. She's not saying anything.
I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in, Megan. Can you hear me?
Oh God. So it's not. It's not. You won't be treading on anyone's toes in that aspect.
And I was just going to ask something, and I forgot.
Write it down.
I know. I've just come. I'm naughty. I've come outside for a smoke.
Oh.
Get up.
We are. We start tomorrow. Tomorrow is our day of. Yeah, we've got our tablets there ready to go, and tomorrow's start day.
Oh, good.
But I just can't think. I have memory issues, Nicole. I keep telling Megan, I'm sorry. I actually have memory problems. So. It's just terrible. I used to have such a good memory, and just with some medical issues, my memory's gone. So if I get like this, that's why.
Oh,
and I did have pen and paper and was writing everything down, and now I've just forgot. Just give me a minute; it'll come back.
No, all good. Just when you think about it, just butt in.
I will. It was a good one too. I remember that.
Oh, Megan, with your thermostruck page, you know, you've got a lot of database there that you can tap into.
Yeah.
It can be, you know, you could go into look, and it's a tedious task, but it could be very worth it, is going in and looking at all your members and looking at their demographics and where they are, and then accessing their information. And if they've got emails on there, you know, have they joined your page? No, you wouldn't have done sales with all of them.
No, it's just been.
That would be nice if you had though.
Page or,
But you could start using the oils in cooking.
Yeah, like
you've been using some of the oils in the cooking, and then go, oh, look, you know, this is the oils I've been using in. I'm sure you can put it into something.
Yeah.
You know, with
a bit like you just feel guilty if I'm trying to talk to them about oils when they've joined my page for Thermomix reasons.
Yeah.
But if you just mentioned it,
you're not pushing the oils. You're just, you know, putting a post up. Like I was going to put a post up from last night because I made Skinny Mix's. What did I make? Satay chicken, and I didn't have cafe au lime, I didn't have lemongrass, and I had no ginger, but I used all my oils instead.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I was just going to put a photo up of my dinner that, you know, instead of using, you know, the herbs, I used my oils instead, and this is the outcome, and it was beautiful. So it could just be things like that you start posting. Hey, I just made this, and I used you know, and lemongrass or lime or, something in it. And just have a photo of the doTERRA bottle in the picture. You don't even have to mention doTERRA, but it's there. Mm-hmm. You know, or little videos of you making something.
Yeah.
Or,
so get cooking.
Get cooking.
Yeah, running around the house going, oh, no, I've got no lemons. Oh, that's right. Look, here, I have some doTERRA lemon.
Yep. So it's, you know, it's, just starting to get a bit more active on your page, because you've got a huge opportunity right there with 17,000 people who are potentially, even if half of them are already exposed to it, you've still got half of those that aren't. You know, that's huge.
Well, that just got me thinking on some of the pages I'm on. Because I actually started, the whole reason I posted about wanting to find out oils use for the dog. Because we had used a flea and tick tablet on her, and now there's really bad reports on it, and ever since we've used it, she's had major tummy upsets and problems constantly. And I reckon I'll put it down to this tablet. So I posted asking if anybody knew anything about oils and stuff like that, and that's how, and Megan messaged me. So that's how we've got talking about it, and then I just decided to join up and, you know, screw everybody up there in that to fix that big kerfuffle up.
That's okay.
But I just thought I've got, you know, dog pages, you know, where can start using, you know, I've been telling a lot of people that
animals is a huge area. You know, there are vet nurses and vets that are now using oils. So, you know, that's a huge market as well. You've just got to pick your, you know, sort of pick your niche, pick what you're good at, pick what you're into, what your interests are, and go for it. You know, mine's all children, baby focused, family focused. And so, you know, I'm in kindergartens now. I've got quite a few kindergartens on board. Think outside the box and think like, you know, doctor's surgeries. It's in hospitals here. They've got it in the maternity ward on the front desk.
Wow. Where are you in Queensland?
I'm on the Gold Coast.
Okay, yep.
Physios, chiros, doctors' surgeries, personal trainers, gyms.
So in that sense, do you just go and speak to them? Is that something you've done? Like,
yeah, the kindies. Well, a group of kindies just happened when I was at the Gold Coast Health Harmony and Soul Expo last year. That just kind of, you know, fell in my lap. The other kindies that I've got on board, like it's my kids, well, my son's one, so I, you know, knew the director quite well. So I just got talking to her and arranged a meeting and went in, enrolled the kindy, and, you know, they bought a heap of diffusers off me, and we've got other kindies waiting to come on board too. Plus that's going to go into staff members. I'm doing classes for staff, and then we're going to open it up to parent information sessions as well. So something like that, you know, has.
So even if you could offer, you could offer, if you got talking to your kids' teachers or something, and if you're willing to spend the money, say, look, you know, or would you be willing to have a diffuser in here? And if I bring my
so I
stuff
did a
into
trial.
town.
Yeah, I did a trial at my school. I supplied 6 diffusers, and I supplied all the oils. So we did lavender, cedarwood, and wild orange. I supplied all the oils. Now, I gave it to them for 2 weeks. You could do it just for a week, but I did 2 weeks. And what I did was I got the I don't know. Hang on a sec. See if I've got it.
What a great idea.
Here we go. I've got one. I just I saved, like I always save all my bottles. So what I did was I just got an empty bottle. I took all the labels off. I just labelled it. This was a quick job. It hasn't got my logo or anything on it. I had to be careful because I work for Education Queensland, so I can't.
Well, there you are, Deb.
Yeah, if I go to,
There we go.
if I listen, I can't look at the same time and speak. It turns the microphone off.
Yeah, so I just labelled all of the bottles.
Now we can see you.
Oh, can you?
That was a good frozen moment.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
You're having a
Oh, okay. It says my video stopped.
Yeah, so what
How
I
are you
did
going,
was,
Kelly, with work? Are you getting interested?
what's that?
How are you going with work? Are you getting anyone interested at work?
Yeah, I've got a few ready to. I don't know if they'll sign up or just buy oils yet. So
Families or
month.
staff?
Staff. I haven't even shown families.
Because you've been
But I've
diffusing,
used the
haven't you?
diffuser. Hey?
Have you been diffusing in the rooms?
Only once.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a bit of a pain to lug it in there every day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah,
No,
see, I'm lucky I've got 11 diffusers, so I could spare 6.
Yeah.
Just a few.
I just put enough drops into that's a 15 ml bottle, but I just put enough drops for 2 weeks plus a few extra into each bottle so that with I got the little dropper later, you know, the what's it called,
Yeah, I've
the
got one of those.
squeezy things, so that they could just squeeze it and pinch it in. Made it really easy, and I made up a poster for them saying this is how many drops of each and this is how much water, so it was all spelt out for them. And every single teacher reported back how much calmer and more focused their whole class was.
Wow. Awesome.
So it made a huge difference. The parents loved it. They wanted more. But then we had workplace health and safety in the school. The workplace health and safety officer jumped up and down, even though there's no policy for it, saying that we can't have that. But I'm still yet to work on them. So the executive principal wanted it, but politics got involved. But there's heaps of schools using them. There's heaps of kindies using them. You know, you were just talking about, you know, your kindy. Was it, kindergarten?
Oh, preschool. Yeah.
Preschool, yeah. You know, with staff, you're not sure whether they're going to, you know, set up an account or, you know, just buy off you. What I tend to say to people, because I'm running it as a business, and I've spoken to you about this, Megan, I don't offer wholesale anymore. I did in the beginning. And then, you know, people always expect it. I had it today. So I went and did a class for one of my friends. We had another one of our friends came along. So it just ended up being a private one because everyone cancelled, which is fine. And she said, so, you know, Nick is offering, she's telling me it's retail. Do you do it for wholesale or retail? And I'm like, you know, it's up to you what you say. But she ended up saying, no, I'm going to do it for retail. So for friends and family, what I do now is I offer one at wholesale cost. And then the rest, I say to them, okay, if you're going to be using this, you know, regularly, I'm doing you a disservice if I don't set you up with an account. And if they choose to not set up an account, then it's retail. And they pay retail plus postage. Because it costs me postage. Yes, I'm getting points for it. But if they jumped on my my replicatable website, my doTERRA.com website, they would pay retail plus $9.95 postage.
Yeah.
So it's no different. So if you're running it as a business, you need to think about that and think, how am I going to do that? Because otherwise every Tom, Dick and Harry wants wholesale.
Yeah.
And they'll expect that. So, just have a bit of a think about that. If you want to start, building your tribe, you need to be running classes. Now, it's very different for you ladies because, you're very green and everything's new and you don't know how to do that yet. But we know we're going to help you do that. So, Lorraine's coming, Megan, to you October next month.
Yeah.
I'm looking at coming down as well. You're all in the same area, aren't you?
Yes.
Yep. Perfect. And then we'll look at doing another one and I'll come down and do that. I'm going to set up some webinar ones. So, because Lorraine and mine might be slightly different. So I'll set up some webinars as well. So you can jump on the webinar and see how I run that. And just, once you feel confident talking about the oils, as soon as you start sharing with some friends, you kind of just, you pick up and from your experience what an oil has worked for you. So then you can then share that experience with somebody else that you talk to. And before you know it, you're talking about 10 oils anyway. It's just building up that confidence in a class situation, and when you get thrown questions. And the best thing, if you haven't, have you got that or have you all got the apps?
I've got the other one, the Essential Life.
No, you don't.
I've got the reference card.
You've got the which one?
Like a reference card.
Oh, okay. So if you don't have this book or the app, get it.
Yeah.
The app is, the app I think is $10, $15 or $9 something.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yep. Or order this from Aroma Tools and you can all split the postage. So, it might only cost you $5 each in postage from Aroma Tools. And get that because that comes to every class with me. So if people, and I still get it where I've got no idea what, if someone's got high blood pressure, what I should be using. I know they need to avoid rosemary, but I don't know, I've got no idea. This tells you everything.
Okay.
I've got the Essential Life. At the moment, but that's quite good too.
Yeah, I've got that living one as well. Living.
Okay.
But that doesn't tell you that the Modern Essentials is basically your own aroma. You become your own aromatherapist with that book. So
is mine there? Is mine?
Your Essential Life.
Probably can't hear me.
Sorry, what was that?
She's frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen.
I don't know where she's gone. I've got one called the Essential Life.
Yeah, I haven't got that one. No, I've got the living. No.
I don't know where she's
gone.
She's back. No, she's back again.
You're back.
So if you can get the app even,
I'll have a look.
very beneficial. So
that's my. Sorry.
No, you're
I
right.
remember my question.
What was that?
How do you have like a big folder, or do you have a app like things on your computer? I guess you work from the computer more than a phone.
Yep.
In regards to information in regards to the oils and stuff like that. How do you find the best way to store it, or so when somebody goes, I need this or that, or how do I know about that?
I've got a little I don't have it on me at the moment. You know your A4 binder folders, like these big things. You can get A5 ones. So and I buy the index cards. So you can buy the index cards and you can put your own alphabetical order, set it all up. And then in that, write down your recipes or what you find works for particular things, because what the Modern Essentials book says for something may not work for you, but you've found another oil combination that you really like. So that's a good way of keeping it all sort of uniform, and it's in a compact, it's not a big folder. Easily referenced. You can just go to it. It's all alphabetical, and if somebody asks you a question. But that Modern Essentials is just so good because you can look up any ailment, anything, any oil, any ailment, and it will tell you the recipe and what to use and how to use it. So it's a really great starting point. I was going to lead on to something.
Sorry.
No. No, we're talking about that.
So the Modern Essentials book you're talking about?
Yes. If you can get the app or the book itself from Aroma Tools, very, very worthwhile. I think they're $35.95.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Don't quote me on it. $35.95 or $39.95 from Aroma Tools Australia.
Okay.
And then your postage probably won't be, it'll be like $15 or something. So, yeah, you'll be able to split the postage. With, getting enrollments and things like that, I've been really active in Facebook groups. So I mentioned that most of my clients and that are mums, with babies. I'm in so many mums groups, it clogs up my feed, something chronic. But I'm in mums groups from America. I'm in mums groups in New Zealand. I'm in mums groups all over the world. And you'd be surprised at how many enrollments I've got from that. And I'm now known as the doTERRA lady. And I get tagged in all these posts from people that I don't even know because they know I do doTERRA. So if you can build up a profile in groups that you're on, so people get to know you without knowing you, it's really beneficial. And I've created a database that I send newsletters out to as well. So I did get a heavy database from a baby expo I did 2 years ago, which helped. But I've also got, my client database. So every time someone purchases something from me, whether that's they're coming to me for hypnobirthing, doula, all my other services, or whether they're coming to me for essential oils or diffusers, I save their email address. It goes into my MailChimp, and then that's automated for when I do a newsletter, and it bangs it out to all of them. So constantly keep a database of everyone that purchases from you or everyone that you've got contact with, and you've got permission to use their email, because you do have to be careful about that with the laws. That's another great way to market, is start doing newsletters. And just be present in all of those groups. I'll speed it up because I might keep talking. Any other questions?
Not that I can think of.
The other thing I do on a daily basis, I check everyone's volumes and check how my team's going. And this is for later on down the track, but I just thought I'd mention it because it's something I do on a daily basis within the business. So what I do is I click on my team tab, and I click on detailed genealogy, and then I look down and see whose orders are due to process on what date. Now, I've already had about 3 this month where I saw that just from doing that their order was meant to process on the 15th or the 10th of the month, and it hasn't. So because it hasn't processed, that tells me that there's a credit card issue. So I just have to jump on and contact them and say, do you realise your order hasn't processed? You just might want to check out your credit card details are correct. And more often than not, it's an expiry date or it's a CCV that's not allowed that to process. Yeah. So that's just something that I do on a daily basis, or every second day, is just make sure that orders have gone through when they're meant to. And because I was away, and in the lead up to that with the last week of school, I did miss a couple, and it meant that they haven't received their product of the month. So normally I'm quite vigilant in checking my whole team all the time. This month has been, one of those months, unfortunately. So a couple of people have missed out on their product of the month because I wasn't as vigilant, and they didn't know, or they didn't realise that their order hadn't processed, because you don't get an email about that. It's not an automated system. And the other thing I do, just quickly, is I always try and offer incentives, when people are enrolling. We can't advertise it online anymore, but you can advertise it in any classes you do. So I have the little mini Modern Essentials book, and so that's like, it literally is a mini version. Can you see that? You can look up ailments and it will tell you how to use it. So that's quite handy. And I normally do that and a free wild orange, or that and a wild orange and a, if they get a bigger kit, they might get an extra lavender, lemon or peppermint, a 5 ml one. So I buy I also buy the Empower kit, the $30.
Yes, I was looking at that the other day.
Where you get your 10 bottles of wild orange and all the flyers. Now, every time someone purchases from me, they all get the 3 flyers from that kit, goes into their order. Even if they're only getting a sample from me, they get all of those brochures with my card on it, so that they've got a contact to contact me on. They've got a price list, they've got an enrolment form, and they've got all of the kits that are available to them and the information on the oils and how to use them. So that's another good way. It's only $30, so, it's quite cheap. You get 60 brochures plus all of your 10 oils. So it's a cheap way of getting, you out there.
Yep.
Now, I was very lucky. I got Lorraine to get me a convention kit while she was over there of all the new products.
Oh,
yeah, I know. So I can tell you that they're all amazing.
With the post-convention, it says that there'll be kits available. Is that going to be the same kit?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
And can we buy for other people?
I would say so. They may put a limit on it.
Didn't like your question.
No.
Get her away.
They may put a limit on it, because over in the States you could only buy 2. So.
She's back.
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah, we lost you. There was nothing.
Oh, was my mouth open?
No,
there was nothing.
Oh, phew. I was just saying that they may limit it to 2 per person. In the States, they limited it to 2. So, you couldn't buy like 5 and bring them back. But I'm very impressed with all of the products. My touch emotional kit, I'm loving already. The kids probiotic, my kids are loving that. All of the spa stuff, like the body butter's amazing. What else is there? The spike.
So they're going to have kits available with a set, like with all of it in, all the new products in.
Yeah, so I think it costs $372 Australian.
Yep.
With a conversion, but you get every single new product that's about to be released. Okay. So you're saving, I think Lorraine said I was saving about $150 or $120.
Cool.
Something like that. So I thought.
Join us.
What's that?
Dane's trying to join us too.
Who is?
Dane.
Oh, is she?
Mm.
Is she having trouble? Hang on.
I don't know. Yeah. No, that's Deb. Oh, Shane's moved.
I'm laying down.
I can see Deb.
Hang on, Shane. Just got the kids sorted and home for dinner. Do you happen to record it, Nicole? Yes, I do.
She's got a square up with a name in it.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh, hang on. Yes, I can see. Shane, are you there?
I'm here.
Yay!
I'm just trying to sort it out. Hold on.
That's all right. We can hear you, so it's all good.
Cool. Okay, I can hear everyone.
I've
I've
just
got the
been
kids following me.
I was just talking, Shane, about all of the convention products because I was lucky enough to ask Lorraine to buy me a kit.
Ooh, nice.
So, yeah, I was just saying how impressed I am with all of I really love all the spa products that are coming out. Like the body butter's really nice. It's not greasy. It's not too greasy.
Yep.
My kids really love the Kids PB Assist, the probiotic.
Yep.
They pretty much just eat it like sherbet. Just tip it straight into their mouth because they come in a big box and then it's all individually, so that's one serve.
Yeah.
So I just pour that into their mouth. What else is there? Oh, the Serenity or the lavender piece. It's got a slightly different smell because it's got the sandalwood in it. It's still really sweet, but I think it's not as sweet. It's still really nice though. The body wash is really good. The lip balms smell great. What else is there? Oh, you get a free birch oil too, which I didn't know about.
What about the sleep tablets?
Yeah, actually, maybe I should try them tonight. I haven't tried them yet.
Do that. Report back.
I will. I have been sleeping pretty well though, but it might not, I might not wake up. Well, hopefully I'll wake up in the morning, but I may not wake up like I normally do. Yeah, the spikenard and the petitgreen is really, actually, I really like the petitgreen. It's I don't know what it reminds me of. Oh, you there? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you keep freezing.
Oh, don't know why. I've got full internet. Yeah, the petitgreen. I can't put my finger on what it reminds me of, but I quite like it. Body wash, hand cream. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice new products. So, yeah, it's worth it.
Just a question.
Yep.
I kind of sounds silly, but I kind of forget that I have the oils there half the time.
Yes.
How do I start to incorporate it more into daily life? That's what I'm finding a bit difficult.
So what you need to do is even if you pick a couple of your favourite oils that you really find work for you on a different level, whatever level it is. If it's something like you do balance on your feet every morning or you put frankincense under your tongue or you want to do those things, then write it down and just don't start off too big. Don't start off where you got to apply 5 in the morning and then 5 at night. Start off small, and even if it's just one for one thing in the morning and one at night time or one in the middle of the day, and then have those oils. So I'm still not set up properly because I want to buy another couple of kits and have different oils in different parts of the house. At the moment, when I go and do a class, my husband hates it because I take my whole kit and I leave him nothing because I've got bottles in the kids' bathroom for their bath, and then I've got some other bottles in the kitchen, and then he's got his key ring, but I take the rest of them and it's not what he needs. Yep. So you really need to try and, if you can try and save your points and buy duplications of particular oils that you use on a regular basis and have them in different rooms so that you're not having to go and find them. Because I think if you have to go, where did I put that? And if they're at the other end of the house, you want to make it easy for yourself. So if you've got, lavender that you're going to use at bedtime, put it beside your bed and just get into the routine of just applying that every night, like brushing your teeth. You got to do that every night. Or every morning, whenever you apply, and write down a little routine on what you need to do. And even if you've got a few Post-it notes around the house to remind you, you'll start getting into that routine where it becomes second nature. And I now have my kids reminding me on what oils they need to have applied to them at a particular time of day. So, yeah, it just, if I don't give them their vitamins, look out. Or hell breaks loose. And most of the time it's when I'm about to strap them into the car. Can I have my vitamins? I'm like, oh, my God. No, we're running late. But I want my vitamin. okay, I'll run in and get it.
Yeah.
You know, so they remind me all the time because it's just ingrained into me now. So yeah,
What it was like that.
small.
The guard beadlets and the flu bomb when she was getting sick again, and oh, Mum, I haven't had my beadlets. I've got to do my fit. Oh, yeah, that's great, you know, like. But yeah, that's what I'm finding, I guess, because I keep trying to put all my oils back in my little box, so I've got them all there.
Yeah,
and then I kind of forget, and I still want to grab another couple of diffusers yet. Like the kids have got each one in their rooms, and I've got one in the lounge room, but I want a bit bigger one in the lounge room.
Yeah.
And rooms, so
yeah. If you know, just every now and then buy an extra diffuser or buy an extra oil that you use all the time, then you'll be able to put them into your separate room so that you're not having to look for them.
Yeah.
And then if you can make up your roller bottles, then instead of having your oils, you've got your roller bottles. So my kids, I just went to Kmart and bought a little $2 bamboo box from the kitchen section, and all of their sprays, rollers, you know, everything that they use on a daily basis goes beside their bed, and they know before bed they put their sleepy time onto their feet, they, you know, get their chest, you know, the easy air or their immune booster one as well, and they just apply them all, and it's all there right beside their bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm taking
That's where I struggle a bit. There's so many blends and things out there that you read that it's narrowing it down to having a couple that you maybe will use or make up for your children to use all the time or yourself. Because there's so many, it gets so overwhelming of which one works or which one you should do. Or
It does. It gets very overwhelming because there's so many different rollers that you can make for, you know, if you've got a cold. Just stick to the basics to begin with. So if my kids have got a cold, like at the moment I'm applying eucalyptus and frankincense. The only other oil I add in there at the moment is lime because it helps to break down congestion. That's just a combo that I've found works for my kids. Prior to that, I was just using straight easy air. So, yeah, just start basic, and then you can start to, you know, when you find that particular blends start to wear off. Like I was making Peaceful Child for Harper because she's quite out there, and I started to think she was ADHD, and so I started making up Peaceful Child, and that worked brilliantly. But then all of a sudden, it was like she became immune to it. And then I completely forgot. You know, with kids, they're always growing and developing and changing, you know, all the time. So she had just gone through another phase, and I just had to find another blend that worked for her. So then we switched to something completely different, which was in tune on her wrists and on the back of her neck, arbor vitae down her spine, and balance on her feet. And then she changed again, and I thought, geez, I've got to find another combination that fixes you. So now I'm using Clary Calm on her spine. Of all oils, I just thought, what's the food? Sorry? So it's just, you know, like I'm just trying different things. And because I've read the Emotions book back to front and I'm just familiar now with the oils, I can kind of go, okay, I'm going to use bergamot and balance and lavender in a roller bottle, and that's her relaxation blend, and that's going to help her. So I would just try that. But just start with the basics and then, you know, start to experiment a bit more. Don't try and combine a whole lot and try a whole lot, because you're not going to know what works for what particular ailment or your mood. So, yeah.
That makes sense. And how long do they last? Do they last, you know, you make it up in your roller, you're making only 5 or 10 mils. That once you know, say you find something that works and then it stops working, you can put that away for a few months and it'll still be fine.
You wouldn't, once you make a roller bottle, it would spoil after, you know, around the 6-month mark.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you make a roller, that's why I'm now doing them in 5 ml bottles, just because at least I know I'm going to go through 5 mils easily. Things like, you know, the immune boosting, you know, with On Guard and that sort of thing, 15 mils fine because it's getting used every single day. Something like a relaxation or a tummy like a tummy tamer one. I make up in a 5 ml because they're not going to have a sore tummy every day, and that's, I don't need to use that every day as part of their routine. I only need that at the times when they've got a sore stomach.
Okay.
So that's a 5 ml because, at about 6 months, because you've added fractionated coconut oil, it's, it will spoil. It changes the chemical composition of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have troubles. I've got, even though Noah, like, absolutely love the oils and he gets in and likes to make blends, which I've let him do because he's interested, but there's some stuff that I find because he's quite sensitive to smells.
Yeah.
And I brought in tune for them thinking, I'll try that, and I put some on him.
Oops, it's frozen.
Oh my gosh, would have swore I murdered him.
Oh, really? Did you try and put it on his feet?
Oh yeah. No, I just put it on the back of it, a bit on the back of his neck, and he just went crazy. Get it off.
So did you dilute it at all, or did you just put it straight from the in-tune roller?
Just straight from the in-tune roller.
Okay, so you might be able to dilute it, put a little bit of it into a 5 ml roller and top it up again with fractionated coconut oil. It's already pre-made up with the FCO, but you might be able to dilute it again just to tame it down a bit, and instead of putting it on the back of his neck where he'll smell it quite strongly, if you put it on his feet, that could also work.
You might. Yeah, he's like that with any smells. It can make him to the point where he'll throw up.
Yeah.
He's always been quite sensitive.
Yeah.
But,
whoops, can you hear me?
I'll it down a bit and see if I can get him. And that's quite difficult when it needs it more.
Yeah, I know. It's
I
hard.
find the same with the past tense. It's very strong, which I love it. But with the people, I think, I'd blend it down with the fractionated coconut oil, so it's not as strong.
Yeah, I haven't got that.
Yeah, and you can with all of those. Yeah.
Whisper this.
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry.
What was that about Whisper?
Is it the musky type one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Whisper's beautiful. But yeah, with your past tense, your in tune, your cleric calm, your Cellubel, they can all be, re-diluted. So you're going to get so much longer out of them if you want.
Getting the same benefit doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, you're still going to get the same benefit. Yep.
That's what I wondered. Megan helped me the other night when she mentioned something because I had no idea. She said Lorraine had told her that, it doesn't matter sort of what amount of oil you put in, they're still getting the same benefit, whether it's in a 5 ml or 10 ml.
That's right. Because what you're doing, you're not diluting the potency of the oil, you're diluting the area or the surface area that you're covering. So if I was to put a drop of ice blue onto my elbow, it would localize in that spot. But if I had, if I needed to get some of that oil, say, on my forearm as well, then I could put a bit of coconut oil with it. That one drop would spread from my elbow to my forearm. So I'm covering a much bigger area.
Yeah, and I looked at it, I thought it went the other way. It was sort of more you dilute the potency of it. So, yeah, it was good for Megan just to bring that up the other night. It's like, oh, excellent.
Yeah. And I didn't know that. I only just found that out, so that was good to know. Yeah.
That is a common misconception. So don't worry. And when people start, it's like, oh, I can't smell it, so I might add another 6 drops, to the diffuser or into the roller bottle. And I'm guilty of that. I did that in the beginning. I thought exactly the same thing. Yeah.
Megan and I were already talking about that last night, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got it, Deb. Just use like 6 maximum, not 6 of each.
Yeah. You don't need it. You're going to get the same benefit out of it. So, it is very easy to do. So don't worry. We've all done it.
Put more in for the kids. Go to sleep. More.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, don't worry. Everyone does it. It's all good.
Because some come so quick and then some don't. So you kind of, I probably should change to a dropper.
Yeah, and, all your citrus oils, they come out so quick. Like the wild orange just pours out. Yes. Then you get vetiver that doesn't come out at all.
And yes, they're just
they're so
very
thick and they've got a very high viscosity. So those sort of ones like the Myrrh and the vetiver and that, I just sort of get the bottle and rub it between my hands just to loosen it up a bit, and then you'll find that it comes out a lot easier.
okay, cool. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. But yeah, other than all of that, I mean, I could talk for hours, but I'm going to break down all of the components, and my husband's now on board with me. So he's now, I asked him if he wanted to come on this tonight, and he's like, no, I've just walked in the door. So I'm like, okay. But he's going to be like the business side of it, and I'm going to be, like the classes and, the oil contact and, questions and that sort of thing. But he's going to jump in and help me out with, a bit of the business background side of it. So we're hopefully going to, we are, if he helps me, not it'll just be me, but yeah, the business webinars were meant to be put together, but there's been so much happening that I just haven't had the time at the moment, but that will be happening in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So, and I want to start getting it happening regularly. And I'll also let you know dates when I'll run a webinar so you can sit in on it and, see how I run a class. Because it doesn't matter that there's a computer screen between us. How I run it online is exactly the same as how, I ran it at Shane's the other week. I do exactly the same thing. But the more you hear it, even though it's the same thing and you'll probably get sick of my voice, the more you hear it and the more you hear the same information, the more you retain. And then that will then give you the confidence to go and talk to other people. And even if you have a class with, 3 of your closest friends and just share and you start practicing that way, and then that will you'll branch out and it just kind of evolves and then you can't stop it. It just happens.
Yeah, I feel a little bit comfort with some things. Like I helped a lady the other night with a bit of information because it was late at night. Nobody had answered her. I thought, I'm pretty sure I know this. So I answered it and whatever, which in the end I got it all right, which was good. But if I didn't know, I said, I don't know.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't know, and don't be afraid to say, look, I'm not sure about that. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, well, that's what I said to one of them. I'd have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I still do that, with different things. And if it's not in the modern essentials and I can't answer it from there, or if it's, a business question that I'm unsure of, I'll always go and find out and say, look, I'll get back to you on that. So, people appreciate that more than you trying to tell them something that's not right.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, and it's all a learning curve. The more you do it and the more you immerse yourself in it, the quicker you'll learn and the more confident you'll come across when you're running a class.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, if you've got a group of people that, and all over the world and, all over Australia that want to have a class, let me know. I'll put the webinar together and I'll run it, and then any enrollments go straight to you. So, you're still benefiting. Then you're listening to me doing it. We can do it online and whatever time suits. And I'm flexible with times and days. Kids are at school and kindy, so I'm fairly, fairly flexible. And it doesn't have to be a face-to-face class all the time.
And my big thing is that face-to-face. I haven't been in the workforce since the twins are 10 and a half.
Yeah.
I had to stop work when they were born, like before they were born. I had a bad pregnancy and I haven't had to, we haven't had the need for me to have to go back, and I've got medical issues anyway at the moment, which keep me from working. Yeah. So that's one sort of thing for me is, even though I used to do face-to-face, I was in childcare and, spoke to parents all the time, and I was in call centres and stuff like that, working for Centrelink and Telstra, but it's 10 and a half years, 11 and a half, I had to quit fairly early, so it's a big thing for me to have
definitely.
to do side of things.
Big confidence thing, is getting
Yeah.
back out there for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you start online, then, you know, online's kind of good because you feel like you're hiding behind the computer because people can't see you. And it is a great way to start. You know, and in webinars, you don't have to have a video of yourself. You can just have your PowerPoint up there. So it's kind of, because you don't have all the eyes on you as such, yeah, that is a really great way to start. So you could even just start with the online, you know, the online silent ones like I do. And as far as doing all of that, you know, I'm more than happy to send you the PowerPoints that I've made, and the, you know, the online event slides that I've made, and you can either use them or change them, but all the information's there. So don't go reinventing the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, girls, I've got to put the kids to bed.
No worries,
All right.
Megan. Thank you.
Bye.
See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
See you. Yeah, so don't think that you have to. Yeah, don't think you have to reinvent the wheel. You know, I've got a lot of stuff that I've created, so yeah, I'm more than happy to share that. And that's what it's all about. It's not like I've created this, so you're not allowed to have it. It's whatever I've done is also yours. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, any other questions?
Lots of stuff to learn still.
Yeah, oh look, and there is, and don't feel overwhelmed because
So I'll go back and watch it.
yeah, don't feel overwhelmed because there is, like, I'm
What? No.
Balance.
Oh, can you hear me?
You haven't spoken about our balance. I'm not even sure what that is.
I think.
Sorry, I missed all that. Are you rubbing balance on his feet, Shane?
Nicole.
Yeah, can you hear me? Have I got you? Hello? Can you hear me?
Are you going to have a shower? You there, Nicole?
Yep, have you got me? Yep, I'm here.
I think she's gone.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here.
I've got so many things open on my computer and it just crashed. Sorry. All I heard was balance.
Someone mentioned something about, what was it, AR balance?
Yeah, AR balance.
Oh, yes, Megan. Was that Megan that was asking about the AR balance? Yes, so your AR balance, you want to get the money from there into your bank account, yes?
Megan left. She's taking the feed with her.
Oh, yeah, it's saying she's still there. Yeah, so if you've got commission sitting there and you want to get that out in the...
You're cutting in and out.
Oh, hang on. No. Can you hear me now?
Frozen.
Can you hear me? Hello? Have you got me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, your AR balance, in the file section on the team page, you will see, I'll double check that it is still there. If not, I'll reload it. There is a direct debit form. Now you just need to fill that in and email that off to doTERRA, and when the next run of commissions is done, so on the 15th of every month, they will then include yours and deposit all of that into your bank account. Now you can choose whether you want the whole amount deposited or just the next lot of commissions.
Okay.
Mine's now, I chose to get mine deposited monthly. So every month and every week with the Fast Start bonus, I get my commissions paid into the bank account. So I know on the 15th I'm going to get paid my uni commissions, and then every Thursday the Fast Start bonus is paid.
Okay. Cool.
I don't have to worry. just yet.
No, but you will. You'll start to see, you know, when you start, you know, enrolling people, it will slowly start to build up, and you'll be quite surprised how quick it does.
Yep.
You know, my account all of a sudden when I first started had $343 in it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how did I get that?
Yeah.
So I'll load that up into the, if it's not already there, I'll load it up, and it'll be at the top in the file section.
Okay. If you want to, can you call and order using it?
You can through member services. I'm pretty sure they're still doing it. They did also have a trial where you could use that balance online when you ordered, but that was only a trial for a month, and they took it down. There were a lot of glitches, so I believe they're working on it again. I'm sure it will be back up eventually, but it hasn't been up for months, so I don't know when that's going to be. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you call member services that they can put that against your order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions?
No, I've got none.
No.
No.
The new stuff, did you talk about it's not going to be available for us for a few months?
No, October 2nd it should be.
On US or?
Yeah, it'll all be US to begin with. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it should all be uploaded, ready for the start of next month, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not sure on prices yet. I only know like the children's probiotic I know is $24.50 US, and the what's the other thing? There's actually the lavender piece soft gels and the new oil, I think, is only about $45 US.
Yeah, I saw that. Lorraine posted that
Yeah.
today, I think.
Yeah, so that's quite cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure on everything else because it's all in the new catalogue which she got from convention, and it hasn't been released. Yeah.
Right.
Are the new catalogues coming out?
There are new catalogues already which don't have any prices on, so you get them from the US, your US loyalty, and that's your full product guide with all of the products in it. And it doesn't, the old ones had prices in. There is a new one again because of all the new products. Now, what happened last time is that it took ages for all the old catalogues to run out, and I was still getting, at the beginning of the year, I was still getting last year's catalogue because they've run them out. So I'm not sure this time whether the new catalogues are going to take effect right on the 2nd of October with all the products and that we get the new catalogues, or if the old ones, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'll ask my account manager that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, let me write that down. And I'll post that up on the team page.
Lorraine posted something about, and I didn't look on the thing, the price thing. There's tablets for joint and muscle.
Yeah.
Are they new? Are they new, or are they a product we've already got?
Are you talking about the deep blue polyphenol? Yep. No, they were released last convention, I'm pretty sure. So we can get them, but that's US only.
US only.
Yep.
All right.
So it's not the ice blue oil because that's not ingestible in those capsules. It's just they've put that as part of the ice blue or the deep blue range. So it's a powder supplement. They're quite good.
Yeah, my hubby was Ross River fever last November.
Oh wow!
And he's still suffering now, 12 months nearly later, with joint and muscle pain. And I thought, I might give those a shot because he's quite willing to try all the oils and stuff like that.
Good.
They're good. So.
Oh, that's great. The other thing that you may want to try either before or after that is the lifelong vitality. Then.
Okay.
They would be really good for him. You know, it's got a lot more. It's a lot more of an all-round supplement, like kind of like a multivitamin. But you've got superfoods in there like turmeric and pomegranate seeds and things like that. You've got essential oils.
Okay. Because fatigue is one of the main things. He's been having to have B12 shots.
Yeah. Okay. Well then. Yeah,
sore knees, sore wrists. They've just done more blood tests yesterday to checking for lupus and all this other type of stuff as well because he's just not getting any better. So
Yeah, okay.
All
Well, in
right.
that case, then I would definitely try Lifelong Vitality. And the energy-wise, if Lifelong Vitality isn't enough by itself, then you can add the Mito to Max because that's an energy supplement.
What's that one? Sorry?
Mito to Max.
Mito. Yep.
Yep. So Mito to Max and Lifelong Vitality. Now, if you do a US loyalty order and order the Lifelong Vitality, you can get the Mito to
And they're
Max, I think. for-
US, aren't they?
yeah, US. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I would probably try then the Lifelong Vitality over the Deep Blue, because it's going to do a lot more for him as far as fatigue, you know, his joints and things like that as well.
Okay, so it was what was it? Mito to Max and Lifelong Vitality, because you cut out there for a little bit.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Lifelong Vitality, and then when you do a US loyalty order for the Lifelong Vitality, because they're $79.50 for a trio pack, you can then add Mito to Max as an additional at a heavily discounted rate. So I think they're about $30 added on to that LLV pack.
Yep.
Yeah. But
All right, then.
if you get stuck doing that, let me know and I can talk you through it.
Yep. All right then.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to. I'd rather, you know, I'm sure he'd be happy to try something like that, and if it's going to help him.
Yeah,
Stop back.
definitely. Look, I originally only did a half dose of the Lifelong Vitality, which is two of each capsule, so 6 tablets. Doing the cleanse, I've been doing a full dose, which is 4 of each tablet, 2 in the morning of each, and then 2 in the afternoon of each, or at night time. I have to say that I have noticed a massive difference upping the dose to the full one. He may benefit from doing the full dose for the first month, just to really boost him and kickstart him, and then the next month he may be able to drop back to half a dose of it.
Okay.
So then he's going to get 2 months out of the packet. But I think for the first month, if he's really, you know, that fatigued and, you know, Ross River knocks you about, then he may need the full dose. Yeah, and just see how he goes. And they do have a 30-day money-back guarantee on the Lifelong Vitality. So
Okay.
I don't think they've had any, if many, back because they're pretty damn good.
Yep. All right then. Cool.
I agree. I've got arthritis, so lethargy and no energy is a massive problem for me too, and I'm doing the cleanse as well, and my energy levels are heaps better taking them. So
Yeah.
I'm going to keep taking them now from now on too.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
great.
Awesome.
I might halve the dose so they last a bit longer.
Yeah. If you halve the dose, you get 2 months out of them instead of the 1 month. Yeah. I think, you know, I'm going to have to do a cleanse next month as well because I've fallen off the bandwagon this month with my birthday and going away and everything. So I'm going to continue the cleanse into next month as well, and I'm going to stay on the full dose. But yeah, you can easily cut back to the half dose, especially for, you know, long term. You do get the same benefit out of it. I just have noticed my energy level has been even more increased on the full dose because I've never done the full dose before. I've only ever done the half. So it was a big, but you can definitely go with half dose.
That's great. Thanks, ladies. I'll definitely order some. He's got a whole heap of overtime coming up, so I'll have some extra money. Good.
Oh, extra money to spend.
That's right.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about Christmas yet. I'm usually more organised.
Neither have I, and it's not that far away. It's scary.
I know.
Oh, all right, ladies. Well, I've taken up enough of your time. If you've got any more questions,